guys, Marmalade here for Q&A number 21. I hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for tuning in. If you hear a little background music or there's music, there's kids playing, I am in a public park where I normally film. I do it on Mondays for Tuesday, but today is Martin Luther King Day, so a lot of people are off and the schools are closed, so there's a lot of people here. So I apologize if there's a little background noise. Just be patient with me. So let's get right on with the Q&A number 21 and question number 1. So my first question is from Moises Sanchez, who is a friend of mine. I've hiked with him before. He's a local here. He had asked me, are you staying with your Big Agnes Tiger Wall UL2 tent or buying one of the Z-Pak's tents, the Duplex specifically? So I'm about 80% of the way. I'm deciding on a Duplex. I learned a lot, as I've said in past these Q&A videos. I learned a lot on my Thru-Hike. I live in the desert and hike out there, and it rains a lot in the desert off and on, but we don't go hike out there. It's such great weather in San Diego. There's no reason to go out there in storms and hike. So I didn't have much rain experience with my particular tent I took on the trail. And when I flipped after the desert and got to Washington, it rained every day or night, just about every day. And the steel nylon just didn't work for me personally. It soaked through constantly, especially through the bottom. So I am going with a Cuban fiber tent for sure, now called Dyneema. And because I am 6'3" and pretty big, I need a 2-man tent unless I can find a spacious one, which is 1 man, which seems to be rare. But right now I'm leaning towards the Duplex. I love the weight. I think I can get the lightest one at 19.4 ounces, so just over a pound. And you use your hiking poles to put the tent up. So you just carry the tent and the stakes. So I'm really leaning towards that. I'm going light. I told you guys this, and small. And I'm going to go to a smaller pack hopefully and everything. So that's my plan right now. I won't bring the Tiger Wall UL2 on the Thru-Hike again unless I just don't get a tent or something. But right now that's my plan. So my next question is from Diana. Diana asked me, you keep mentioning mile markers. Is that on the sections on maps? Is it noted on the trail? Also, what do you use to navigate on trail? Gut hooks? She asked me gut hooks. So it's kind of a 2-part question. So thanks, Diana. Diana's a friend of mine also. So the easiest way to explain mile markers is, right now, it used to be, they said the PCT was a total from Mexico border to Canadian border, 2,650 miles. Now they're saying it's 2,653. So I guess it depends on if they've extended or rerouted, things like that. So let's say it's 2,653 miles. When you start on one border or the other, and let's say in my case, probably 90% of people start on the southern border, on the Mexico border. When you have walked 1 mile, you are at mile marker 1. When you've walked 20 miles from the start of the trail on either end, you're at mile marker 20. And so on, all the way. I mean, you can get way up into Washington, you're mile marker 2,000. That means you walk 2,000 miles, and if it's 2653, you know you have 653 more miles. So that's basically what mile markers are. It's on gut hooks, and I don't know if it's on regular maps or not, but it's on gut hooks, and it tells you that. And that's kind of how on the trail how we talk. So like when you hear me in my section hiking, I just did the desert at Barrel Springs. It's mile marker 101. That means I'd gone 101 miles to this point. I just drove out there, started at mile marker 101 and went to Eagle Rock, which is 106.5, and back. So that's 5.5 miles each way. Sorry about that. See, I told you I'm in a public place. So in that instance, we did 11 miles. We did mile marker 101 to 106.5, which is 5.5 miles out, and then 5.5 miles back. So that's what we mostly talk on the trail about. Is like, hey, where are you at? I'm at mile marker 350 or whatever. Or, Tehachapi's at mile, 520, whatever it is. And so that's what mile markers are. Secondly is, if you guys don't have it, check it out, is Gut Hook. It's an app, it's a paid app on your phone. What's cool about it is, if you guys want to check out Gut Hooks, you can get the first 100 miles free, so you can go play with it and look and see how it works. But on the trail, almost every single person, I would say, when they did the survey, and I'm just guessing because I don't remember the number, but it's like 95% of people had Gut Hook on their app, on their phone. And the reason why is, it's got different views, but I want to say it costs, I don't know what it costs now. I think I spent $25 or $30 to get the whole trail, PCT trail. They also do the AT and many major trails, so you can buy any trail that's major. So Gut Hook breaks it down into 5 sections for the PCT. You have the desert, you have the Sierras, I want to say it's Northern California, Oregon is the 4th section, and Washington is the 5th section. So let's say you live in Washington, you only hike the PCT in your state, you can just buy Washington, and you don't have to buy the whole thing, and it's like $6 or $7. But So like for when I was training for the last 4 years before I did my Thru-Hike, I just bought Southern California because that's all I hiked. And then I went on a trip to the Sierra, so I bought the Sierra. So for the longest time, I just had part of the trail. So I ended up just going in and buying the other sections. You can get a better price deal if you buy the whole trail at once, but that's how it works. I'm going to show you a couple of screens from Guthook that shows you what we're looking at on trail. The first one is a topo map, so you're looking down on the trail. And it shows the trail is a red line. It's just like when you have GPS in your car. On mine, it's Google. It's a blue line, which shows, when I put it in the airport, let's say, it shows the blue line of where I'm going to drive, and it shows a chevron showing me. Same thing on Guthook. What it does is let me regress one other part, is that what's amazing about this app is we put our phones on airplane mode on the trail, because when you're in the mountains, there's generally no signal, and your phone will just keep searching for a signal and die literally in an hour. So we put our phones in airplane mode to save the battery, so there's no way to use like Google or anything like that. So what's great about Guthook is it talks to satellites. So as long as you have, I've even been in the forest, but as long as you have a clear view, Guthook will work. So the first view on Guthook is looking on your phone, is looking straight down on, it's a topo map, so it shows water and other trails, and there's the trail's red, it'll show a blue line if it's like a trail down to a water source. So on the app, I'll show you in a minute, is a legend, and like little drops mean potential water sources. A little tent means campsites. And what's great about all these things, and there's a Y showing the trail splits off, and all kinds of symbols that mean different things. The main thing we use is mostly just the water drop, where a water source is and where a campsite is. What's amazing about the app is you can tap on a water source, it'll open up on your phone, and it'll have pictures. Guthook has put photos of the water source or of the campsite. The campsite is especially important with the pictures, because like in the desert, let's say it's windy somewhere, you want to see, are there rocks or trees or bushes to create a windbreak, things like that. Also, is it large enough for our group? If you're hiking with 4 people and you have 4 tents, it will say on there room for 5 tents, but you never know. I feel on Guthook they underestimate. They'll say a site for 3 and we'll get there and there's room for 10. So so there's pictures of it, and especially on the water source, the most important part, because obviously you will die if you don't have water within 2 to 3 days, is it lets people live comment. So like when I'm at a water source, I can say great flow, and you don't even have to put the date. When you put it in there, it puts the date. So everybody that follows you knows, like, oh yeah, so why that matters is if I'm at a water source now and I'm trying to figure out how much water to carry, and I know I carry 1 liter for every 4 miles. That's how much I drink. In 4 miles, I drink 1 liter. So let's just say the next water source is 8 miles away. I know I only need 2 liters. And you don't want to carry a lot of extra water because of the weight. So, but you might not know if there's water 8 miles away unless somebody's left a message on there. So the hikers are pretty good. Once the season gets going, there's usually plenty of comments in there, and you can say, oh, as of 2 days ago, 8 miles from now, the water is flowing great, so I'm just going to carry 2 liters. So it gives you peace of mind. I went early in the season, late in March, but early in the hiking season. So the problem I had in the desert was there was hardly anybody making comments in front of me. So I couldn't really tell if there was water ahead of me or not. So sometimes I had to chance it. But because we had a big year last year, and with El Nino winter and the snow, there was lots of water flowing. So there was water where it wasn't even in Guthooks, which happens a lot, and also camping spots that are not in Guthook. So that's the topo map and the icons to show different things on the trail. You hit another button, and I'll show you right here. And this is really key if you want to look at elevation. So a lot of times, the night before, while I'm on trail in the morning, I'll stop and sit on a log and look at the day. And this shows the elevation climb. And it still has all the icons for water and things like that, but it shows you like how hard your day is going to be. And it helps you judge not only how hard your day is going to be, but how far you think you can go that day. And maybe, if we want to go 20 miles, there's 2 or 3 potential campsites. So we'll try to hit one of these depending on how we feel and that kind of thing. It tells you whether you're going to be dry camping, which means with no water near your camp, or wet camping, because if it's dry camping, you want to make sure you're carrying the water to drink while you're hiking, but also for dinner. And at night, I like to drink water in my tent to rehydrate for the morning. So it's important to, the water is probably the most important thing. But the app is amazing, and I think it literally saves lives when it comes to the water. I mean, camping, you can just camp wherever, but the water is really, really important. So I hope that answers your question, Diana. All right, so my buddy Paul Howcroft asked, trail angels, an alien concept for us Brits, but what's the etiquette on trail when being hosted or transported? Is it necessary to offer a financial contribution, or is it bad form not to? If it is normal, how much should you offer or be given? So that is an unusual question, because I wondered the same things, because I'm not really good with having people do things for me, but it's a reality on trail. You need to hitch, and you hitchhike a lot, and amongst other things that people help you with. And the theory is, this is a hard answer because there's no exact answer, but if they're just dropping you off like a quarter mile down the road, you generally, don't expect to pay them anything. This is personal, right? So if you want to, you can. On the longer rides, I always offered, and nobody took me up, and I was just gonna give them like $5, like if it was 10 miles or something. But in no case did anybody ever take my money. And so I do offer. I think it's depending on the length or how far they go out of the way, or how troublesome, like if I don't know, if they picked you up on some dirt road and it was really hard to get back into town, then maybe they want some money. But I think I don't know the dollar amount. I think it's personal, but like I would offer $5 if it's like 10 miles. I had one hitch that was 25 miles from Walker Pass in the desert, and there was 2 young kids that picked us up, and I offered them money. I was gonna give them like $10, and they didn't want it. So yeah, I think it's good to offer depending on how long or how much they did for you. Generally, the trail angels, if they're experienced, won't take anything, because that's not why they do it. All right, so my last question is from Matt, Ireland. Hello, Matt. How you doing, buddy? What is your opinion about doing a through hike to raise awareness and/or funds about a particular cause? Thank you for the question. Yeah, so as you can see, I have mixed thoughts about it. I think it's a good thing, and I actually contemplated it myself. I unfortunately, just a personal tidbit about me, I had a single mother. I'm an only child, and my mother at 26 found out she had breast cancer and passed away at 28. So I ended up with no siblings and no parents, and I was raised by my grandmother, who was an amazing woman, so I'm lucky there. But so I'm passionate about breast cancer. I have done some walks, and I give some money, and I try to do things I can on my end. I thought about doing my hike for breast cancer, but I'm one of the few people that vlogged every single day on the trail, and I was very, very busy besides my through hike, and I just couldn't see spending the time to do that too. And so I decided not to do that, and I wanted to enjoy my hike as much as possible. I knew that, the vlogging and editing videos and getting in town and trying to upload them was going to take up all my extra time, which it did. And I wanted a video log of my hike, so that's what I chose to do. But I really believe in it. I think it's a great thing, and a lot of people do it. Maybe not a lot, but a good amount of people do it. It's just going to prepare. If you're not vlogging, then you'll probably have time to do it. But remember, if you do vlog, you got to mention it in your videos a lot. You got to, I don't know if you have a website or whatever, and then you got to figure out, okay, how can people donate? Are they going to do PayPal, or how are they going to donate? And you got to keep track of that and do all that and promote it. And I totally think it's a good thing. And the other reason why I think it's a good thing is because I think anything that helps motivate you to keep hiking, like you're gonna want to give up on some days, or the days suck when the weather's bad, or you're not feeling it. I think having a cause or something, maybe it's from a loved one or something you've experienced personally, it'll keep you motivated and keep you going, because you're doing this hike not just for you, but for other people and your cause. So I think that's good. This is a hard one because it's a personal cause, but I have no problem with it, and people have done it and done really well, but it is a lot of work and a lot of your time. So I just kind of felt like I was taking on too much when it came to already having to prepare for my through hike and everything else, and vlogging and all that. So yeah, that's my answer. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. This was a little bit longer, and I apologize. I promised to make them shorter, but these answers were not quick this time. Also, a little bit of update. I've been taking CBD oil for, I actually don't know the day. I should have known the day. I don't. It's a little over 3 weeks. And oh my God, you can see I'm getting ready to put out some more hiking videos. I'm starting to hike, and I can do 11-mile day, no problem right now. I don't think I'm anywhere near a 20-mile day again until I hike some more, but I'm actually able to walk and get on trail, so that's great. And I would say I'm about 75% better already. And just got my resupply for my 2nd month of it. And by the way, I have a great connection. It's high quality CBD. I've been educated on it, and there's cheaper stuff that's low quality. But if you are interested at all, I have a connection that's almost the best you can get, and it's here in the U.S. and he's out of Denver, and I know the owner of the company himself. That's who I order from. So if you're interested, let me know. I think it's a decent price, and if you have any kind of ailments you're healing from, or it's just been a miracle for me. I'm just hoping I need that last 25% healed, so I'm 100%. It's gonna take a little while, but I had no hope when I first announced that what I was dealing with, and it's already 75% gone. So anyway, I'm just giving you an update that's where I stand. So that's great news. So again, thank you for watching. Check out my patreon.com if you want to help support me monthly towards my hike and gear. Also check out my merch site that I just started. Both links are down below in the description box, so check it out, and like and subscribe and share and do all that stuff, and hope everybody's happy, healthy, and until next time, we'll see you down the trail.